What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. We are in 2025. Bull run is in motion. It is June, and we're going to check out what is the current state of crypto mining on GPUs, CPUs, ASICs, maybe some FPGAs. We'll kind of do some quick numbers possibly, but let's take a look at profits. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, share my videos all around, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, it don't matter. We are pushing upwards to 100,000 subscribers. We're about 12,000 away right now, so let's make it happen. All right, guys, and as we can see here, starting off with GPUs, there is something new. I can't sing, I'm horrible at this, but there is a new coin now listed at hashrate.no. Now, it's not new if you're new to the channel. We've been talking about this for a couple weeks now. Recently went to mainnet about, I don't know, a little over 20 days ago, so just shy of a month. But we have XTM SHA-3X, which is overrun by FPGAs at the moment, but it's still profitable on GPUs. There is a fork coming soon that's going to fork the emissions down. Right now it's at 33%. It's going to go down to 25%, but GPUs will have their own algorithm, and we'll talk about it with CPUs and stuff as well, which we have been for the past little bit. But a new coin is here, and it is in fact profitable on all hardware, CPUs, FPGAs, GPUs. It is absolutely insane. Now the 4090 here is saying cubic. As we know, cubic is wrong when it comes to calculators. You're actually about 50% less of what this is saying. Now, why is the 4090 not saying this when I do think every GPU should be on XTM if you care about profits, because that is the most profitable coin? The reason cubic is listed here is because XTM is not on all the GPUs here. So let's just look at XTM, and you can see it does not exist. Hashrate.no just hasn't added it to here. So when it comes to GPU mining, at least NVIDIA, I'm not 100% sure on AMD, but NVIDIA GPUs, which is probably the only GPUs we should be mining on these days, AMD's just keep losing support. They're fall behind, and no one really supports the hardware anymore in terms of miners and tweaking and so on. So NVIDIA is really our only option when it comes to crypto mining. And if we just scroll on down the list here, we can see, 5060s, 4060s, 3080s, it doesn't matter. CMPs, 100, 210s, XTM, SHA-3X. It's all Tari. We do have the odd 5090 here saying Quai. Again, I'm most likely because this does not have XTM listed under the 5090 yet, but it will be there soon. So yeah, if you have an NVIDIA GPU, you should be mining XTM/Tari because it is the most profitable coin currently, and about to get even more profitable depending on the price and when that fork comes. Now, coming in the CPUs, the sad thing is hashrate.no has their numbers way out to lunch in terms of power consumption. So, usually, you're probably actually more profitable than what it's saying. Now, these are the big bad boy epics, and they're also saying mine epic. They don't have Tari listed here, which is weird. They have it on GPUs now when there's two algorithms, or not two algorithms, but two chains dedicated to CPUs when it comes to Tari, and that is what we have been mining. But it is saying for like 3950Xs and stuff, we're seeing decent profits on Epic, which is Epic Cash, which means you can mine two coins at once with Epic Cash. So you're actually almost doubling up your profits of what you are seeing here. So we're at probably around 60 cents or so mining Epic on a 3950X plus some other coin, maybe mixing it up with something like Spectre here. So cut that back in half because you're half and half on each. So maybe this is 15 cents plus that. So you're maybe about 45 cents, not 60 cents if you kind of get an idea. Actually, that's what this big guy right here. So that don't even count. So cancel that out completely. We'll just kind of come into 3950X here. Does it have... what's Zephyr saying? 20 cent profit. So add 10 cents onto that. So, let's say we're doing about 40 cent profit after power. So it's actually not too bad. It is saying, but this is also saying only 105 watts worth of power on a 3950X. That is not the case. I don't know what, and they're only saying 12.9 kilohash. So their hash rate is low. Their power is way low. I don't know what type of settings they're utilizing here, but it's possible. But this is more like 3900X numbers, and our power should be quite a bit higher. But that don't matter because this is not what we care about right now. Tori is the top coin for CPUs also. All right, so current price of Tari right now is about 5 cents, which is a pretty big drop from where it was upwards to 8 cents, just like a few days ago. But the point here is, how much are we mining? I have been kind of trying to track this right here, and I'm just going to put this right here. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. And we're going to adjust all this to 5 cents now. All right, so let's take a look at these numbers. And based on my spreadsheet, this is set up so that it's actually when the GPU split kind of comes here, as SHA-3X is going to be the FPGA and this Kakaroo 29 will be GPU ASIC resistant only. So it's going to be split up 4 waves, which means 25% emissions on each. This is the way I have my spreadsheet set up. So when it's all said and done, it's ready, but you are actually getting more. And I have been testing this with my CPUs, and I am indeed getting more coins than what my spreadsheet is telling me. So this is currently you're getting 33% on SHA-3X, 33% of the emissions on Tari only, and 33% on the Tari merge. But this again, 2.4 million coins is based on the 25% on each one. As you can see, here's the emissions on each. Anyway, looking at this, and remember, you're getting a little bit more. Here is what the numbers are looking like. On each chain, you're getting about 124,641. A little bit more based on this. I keep pushing that. But here we can see, I don't know the network hash rate because the network seems to be down right now. There's some issue going on. We can see the block explorer is not showing anything. Oh, is it back? Oh, and then it glitched back out here. We can see the pool that I'm using for Tari only. It doesn't have the information. They are having issues with the Tari blockchain right now, which is interesting because it just came out of testnet. So I guess it's kind of expected. Anyway, moving forward here, based on what everything was previously at, 1.8 gigahash online at about 22 kilohash, which is a 7950X here. You get about 30.46 coins per day. That is $1.52 before any type of power cost. Now, when it comes to the Tari merge mining, you'd be getting same parameters, 22 kilohash, 19.58 coins a day. So slightly less because we can see we have quite a bit, 2.8 gigahash online there, last I know of. So you're only getting 19.58 coins, which works out to be 97 cents per day. But you are also merge mining Monero in this case. It's currently at $348, 5.2 gigahash online. You're getting an extra 63 cents here added together. Merge mining is the more profitable way to go right now at $1.61 per 24 hours on a 7950X3D. It is using that 12% power, about 43 cents, I think it is. So, the profit is pretty decent. It's over $1 in profit on a single 7950X and a 7950X3D and, 7000 series anyway. But we can see here that merge mining with Monero is the better option. When it first forked here, it was better just to mine Tari, but now I might have to switch over. All right, so as for a little bit of FPGAs on SHA-3 right now, we are seeing that an E300 currently at about 383 watts or so is getting about 7.2 gigahash. That is about 124 coins a day, or $6.23. Now, Osprey recently just said that they're going to get even more hash rate soon. A new bitstream is emerging that's updating, and they're going to be doing even better pretty soon. And they're going to do even better once the fork comes, because all the GPUs that are current profitable as well on SHA-3X is going to get forked over to Kakaroo here. That means FPGAs will have their own network to themselves without the GPUs, boosting even more profits because that hash rate will drop a bit here, moving over to just the GPU side. But then eventually ASICs will come, and depending on how much larger they are, they could remove FPGAs completely, or maybe they'll kind of coexist, kind of how the GPUs and FPGAs are currently right now. And when it comes to ASIC mining profitability, and if you are looking for any ASIC, be sure to check those links down in the description. It greatly helps out the channel here. But for the most part, it doesn't even look like it's really worth mining on an ASIC right now, especially for the price that these things are. And, the hash rate increases when they release and the profitability that drops when it happens. But anyway, the top miners here, obviously Bitcoin miners here, and they're not even released. They were recently announced, but not released yet. But look at this bad boy, the S23 Hydra 3U. 1.1 petahash Bitcoin miner for over 11,000 watts. This thing is absolutely insane. A 1.1 petahash freaking miner. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Anyway, moving on to something that, you know, more home miners would probably have. That'd be script algorithm. We can see the Volk Miner D1, the AlphaPex DG2 here, Jazz Miner X44P. Hopefully that releases soon. It's not amazing. It better be priced good because it's not making massive amounts. Obviously, if ETC sees a pump, this could be making a huge amount of money, but they'll price it at like $50,000. So obviously this is going to come down to the correct price, and we'll just have to wait to see how that happens. The L9, very, very popular miner, obviously. Script, Dogecoin, Litecoin. It is the latest king when it comes to this algorithm. Profitability is down to only $11 a day when it first released, upwards of like $80 to $100 a day, which was absolutely insane. But that has obviously dropped down quite a bit now here due to the large pools destroying all those small coins now that the rewards aren't worth anything. Moving on here, what else do we got here to really look at? I don't know. We got the KS7 833, so $8 a day on Kaspa, not too shabby. 40 terahash. I got a KS5L, I believe it still is, online. It is losing me a massive amount of money every day. It has not ROI'd. It's not even 50% ROI'd yet, and I'm losing money. I don't know what I got to do. I might have to just shut it off, take the hit, and end up in the hole with that thing, but it is garbage. And maybe I'll sell it. Anybody looking for a KS5L? You know, I might sell it to someone if you really need one. If you have free power or something, you know, it might be worthwhile for you, but for me, I'm just losing money on it. The Bitmain X5. I wish I still had this miner. This was probably my favorite miner I've ever had, and it is doing amazing right now on RandomX with Tari. Now this is just claiming Monero here, so this is getting probably even more than that. I'm gonna boast this. Actually, I'm gonna go to the X5 and we're gonna check this out on my actual freaking spreadsheet here. But for the most part, ASICs aren't doing very well either because they're so expensive for making very small amounts of money. All right, so having a look at the Bitmain X5 on Tari only, that's about $14.67 a day. Pretty good. If you want to merge mine Tari with Monero on that chain, that's about $15.54 a day. That's before power costs. This does use about 1,350 watts or so, so calculate that based on your power price, but the profitability is pretty damn good. All right, guys, so that pretty much does wrap up this video. Profitability of June of 2025 on a bunch of different hardwares is definitely looking a lot better than it has been. Depending on your hardware, for GPUs, it's looking better than GPUs have been in the past 3 or 4 years when it comes to cryptocurrencies. There's still other things you can do with them that make more than this, and that is your AI rentals and things like that. But when it comes to straight crypto mining, this is, you know, some of the highest profit days GPUs have seen over the past 4 years, which is pretty insane. And, you know, kind of hype train. We're moving into that altcoin season and new coins are coming, and, you know, things are looking decently right now. As for CPUs are doing decently. We have seen better days in the past. The entire past 3 or 4 years, we have seen high profits almost all the time on CPUs, and it's just another one that we continue to keep seeing it. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.